Number 2, this is the brains of the system. This is the central part of the system. It holds the environmental research, development, green energy development, and financing, medical research, such as autoimmune to bring affordable and free treatments for people. We will rebuild the system with an earth-healing, energy-connecting system that heals people in the most humane way. This system will also build our system so that the employee is valued and supported. A system where people can easily train and try another career. We will join together First Nation traditional healing to our healthcare system and monitor it so it's safe. Equality and equity will be the center of the system, and I don't care who gets upset about it. And I will respond to you that women make up 50% of the world, and this is what diversity looks like. That the days of only white men getting the bulk of the jobs and the rest get small scraps left over for women and minorities are over. I find it highly offensive to hear these men crying about how unfair it is and why they have to fight to keep their spot. My response is the 1% are lying to you. There is enough jobs for everyone if they actually gave a shit about us in our world. You want good paying jobs with pensions and benefits? The GGDI is your system. You want a shorter work week and same pay, so getting a pay raise while having to work fewer hours? The GGDI is for you. If you want investments into more advanced and future education systems so that we can actually move to a sustainable world, then the GGDI is the system for you. If you want union representation so your rights will be protected and you have a voice in your workplace, then the GGDI system is for you. If you want your water, land, air, food, and clothes to stop poisoning you, then the GGDI system is for you. If you want to be able to afford a home and have safe neighborhoods, the GGDI system is for you. If you want solutions for homelessness, addictions, human rights violations, move a developing country to a developed nation. If you want world peace, the GGDI system is for you. If you want to stop us from dying from preventable diseases or suffer from autoimmune diseases from all the toxins in our world, if you want to prevent microplastics and forever chemicals from slowly killing us, if you want to save our wildlife and protect every living life form, then the GGDI system is for you. I don't care what your faith is, who you love, whether you're rich or poor or somewhere in between. I don't care your gender or how you identify. I don't care where you come from, the color of your skin, the language you speak, but I do wish I spoke every language because there's just so much that we could share with one another. But what I am saying is that hate is going to kill us. I don't want it to be in the system. It is not compatible. We build the best system based on what is out there around the world, add other things that will make our lives better and put it in so that all benefit, not just a few. The brains of the system is that equality and equity and peace are non-negotiable. What is going on in this world is not sustainable for the short or long term. And the 1% have drawn the line, and they are absorbing everything through pain, fear, and control. This is not a system for we the people, the 99%. Why will my system work? That instead of those billions and trillions that they are stealing from us, we're going to build a dream system for we the people. We're going to build a system that works with AI and benefits our lives without punishing us, which we are currently seeing. The current occupant of the White House, Putin, Xi, Israel, Iran, are all posturing to steal other countries' lands by supporting each other is absolutely unacceptable. It is so hypocritical that Americans support securing their border but have no issues erasing the Canadian border and then telling Canadians you don't have a vote and we will steal your water and precious resources. Now the current occupant is meeting Putin in Alaska, and in his news conference he called Alaska Russia a couple times. Imagine a U.S. president doing that before, but it seems that we have a mole in the house. This should frighten even his staunch supporters. You're being given to Putin on a platter, served up for some strange reason. The absolute arrogance and hatred being spread is unbelievable. So know that the GGDI will not work with the current administration of the U.S., Russia, Israel, Iran, China, etc. Their kind of governance violates the core principles of the GGDI 7 Gens and at Sammy 71 Earth. And I never thought that I would say that, but yes, the system will not work with the current U.S., which I am just waiting for the economic hammer to hit. And I don't think the American people understand the damage the current occupant of the White House and the administration is doing to your country. I don't think you realize that all these new trade agreements Canada and the other free world are making don't include you. The world has moved on at a rate no one could have ever predicted. And we, the people, are demanding more from our government. We don't want our government to fund fund genocide, and we will suffer some economic hardship and also the discomfort that change brings to build a better and stronger country and economy, and always promote human rights around the world and at home. I don't think that Americans understand that it will take generations for the world to look on your country in a good light. There are a few reasons that we believe this damage will take generations to heal, besides the absolute arrogance, ignorance, hatred, racism, bullying, bribing, and thinking that it's okay to go to war with Canada, because that is really what your president is asking. No different than if Canada and Mexico decide that those drawn lines no longer were relevant and threatening to bring our militaries onto your sovereign lands. Do you understand what I'm saying? Absolutely unforgivable it is for you to even breathe that thought. But even before this last election, the world could not understand how he got in the first time. It took the election of President Joe Biden at that very important time in history to bring America back up to a respectable level again. But also, we watch the current occupant of the White House posts, his rallies, and his ability to glorify hate against anyone who is not white, calling countries shithole countries, immigrants, rapists, criminals, and murderers. Degrading anyone who is not white and rich was deplorable. But still you chose who I like to call the former, but now the current occupant of the White House, and ignored all the hateful rhetoric and propaganda, and ignored his Project 2025 agenda. What has occurred over the last 7 months with the new administration has put the nail in the coffin for America's reputation around the world. And he is now just winding up to start the military takeover of America. Today, he brought in the National Guard into D.C., saying other democratic cities are next. The false life or narrative that is projected in your country and around the world is the so-called American dream, while you have now announced that birth control will be outlawed. And today, the Supreme Court is now looking to overturn same-sex marriage or marriage equality. Knowing your Supreme Court is compromised and has proved that they are being financially and vacationally being rewarded. They're flying controversial flags and not recusing themselves for cases that they should shows exactly how much of a myth your democracy is. If one man, backed by a corrupt Supreme Court and the rich, can take over and destroy an entire country in such a short time. So far, your lower courts have held, but the failure has been the highest court of the land, which in itself is criminal. Americans acting very religious but cheering when women's rights are taken away, when young women are dying because these same so-called religious men are torturing women, punishing women and girls and doctors by criminalizing women's health care while not putting any responsibility on the men who are responsible for making these pregnancies. Making a woman an incubator goes against the family and the fetus's rights. Letting women bleed out, go septic, and suffer infertility and death is not a country I would ever model, nor would I want to live in a country where my daughter has fewer rights than an animal. Your government is bought and paid for by the rich, and they are okay to set out a picture of how to keep total control by controlling algorithms and posts. But since people are starting to demand change, and this is where the fight is happening, we have to change or we will all perish. Also, life in our lives should not be this hard or uncomfortable. Americans are in big trouble right now and are sleeping at the wheel. Electing someone so full of ego, greed, and hate is exactly what you get. You know the saying, you get what you got? Well, we all warned you, and now the nightmare is just starting. And it is time to wake up and fight for your country. Otherwise, it will be too late and there will be no take back. Americans also have to realize that the world has moved on and it does not include them. The man and the administration that the Republicans have put in place to represent you have offended the entire world. They are threatening, bribing, bullying, and thinking that they are the rulers of the world, but the rest of the free world have built a world, not including the U.S., and this will hurt the country for generations to come. So there is a non-negotiables for the system, and that is built into the brains of the system, and we will stand by our mission and promises.